Testing, hot outbound count. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Are you ready?
I'm all ready.
You on here? Come on, let's go inside and get started. Dusty out in that hall.
Hey, get a load of fatso there.
Oh, would I like to melt you just once. Dusty out in that hall. What's my temperature, Norton? 111. Oh, come on, let's get moving. Isn't there any lawn here?
Yeah, about 300 pounds.
A 20% percentage.
And now, who is our next guest, please? Herb, here's our next guest.
Ed Norton.
Ha ha! Watch this.
The Honeymooners Podcast, the only podcast that is all about the greatest show of all time. With the stars, Joe Conti and Louis Fatz.
If they ever institute a Nut of the Month Club, I've got a very good idea who's going to be January and February.
Welcome, fellow raccoons and members of the Women's Auxiliary. What's happening, all you Hurricanes, Bensonhurst Bombers, and all you Herbert J. Whitesides of the world? I blanked out for a second. You're listening to the Honeymooners Podcast with me, Joe Conti, and my pal, Louis Fatz.
And he's so tall and slim.
Thank you. Come now. No hard feelings. Remember, we are raccoons, and all raccoons are brothers under the pelt. Now, forget your differences, and let's have the raccoon handshake. Come on, the raccoon handshake. I gotta work on my Mr. President, because next year at the convention.
Yeah, you're going to have to definitely work on your Mr. President, for sure. It was good, though.
Well,
Come on, the raccoon handshake. The only podcast. Oh, you're listening. Yeah, with me and Louis Fatz, of course. I'm just not. I'm all Norton here.
Yeah, all Norton.
The only podcast all about the greatest show of all time. We record in the Non-Productive Studios at 328 Chauncey Street in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, also known as
Clifton, New Jersey.
Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts, and if you're on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating and leave a positive review, and we'll read them. The home base, if you don't do the podcast, is non-productive.com/honeymooners. Also, the Non-Productive their website, Non-Productive's YouTube channel. Wow, I am a little rusty. So if you go to Non-Productive and you look on YouTube, subscribe there, and you can get all the shows on there also if you just want to go on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And don't forget to like our Honeymooners Podcast Facebook page, the Honeymooners Podcast Facebook group, which is the fun place to be.
That's the place you have to be.
That's the place. That's the place.
That's the place.
That's the place right there. Follow us on Twitter at Honeymooner1. And if you want to leave a voicemail, call 628-400-7741. Exactly. And if you want to email us, it's Honeymooners Honeymoonerspodcast at AOL.com.
Aren't they ancient?
Exactly. And if you want to support us on Patreon, just go to non-productive.com and click on any of the episodes, and you go to the bottom, and you can do that and throw us $100 or $40 million, which would be really cool.
Really nice.
Hello.
$40 million.
Hello.
Sorry.
What? That's sorry.
Sorry. $40 million. What's going on, Lou?
Joe, 140.
Yes. 140.
140. That's a lot.
That is.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. And listen, before we even get we have to get through we have to go through the sponsors and all that. Of course.
Best comedy hit of the show.
And
that's all downhill.
Of course, our first sponsor is Silk City Hot Sauce. Go to SilkCityHotSauce.com. Get yourself some great hot sauce. Best hot sauce on the planet. You can get all different types of packages. There used to be a habanero hot sauce.
Yeah, honey habanero
hot sauce. Honeymooners, honey habanero hot sauce. Lots of H's in there.
Yeah.
And
it's like a handy, helpful housewife, happy helper.
Oh my God, he messed that up so bad. I don't know why they gave it that name. It was such a ridiculous name.
It's
Nobody
great,
was going to get
it's
it.
great.
That's what made it great. So what you do is you go get the best hot sauce on the planet. It's our pal, the great Jeff Kingfish Levinsky, who's one of us. And when you get that hot sauce, what you do is you go to the checkout, and what you do is you put, they'll give you a thing for a coupon code, so you can get a little bit of money off. And it'll ask you for a coupon code, and you put the 2 letters, and you know what the 2 letters are? RX in the coupon code, and you'll get yourself a 15% percentage off of your order, and you get a free bottle of
Cherry sriracha.
I'm sorry, sir. I couldn't think of the word.
It's always
It's
fun.
the funniest thing we do. It's hands down funniest thing we do.
It's now to a point where I'm just sitting back and enjoying the president say,
I'm sorry, sir. I couldn't think of the word.
just sitting back and just smiling like I'm looking at the ocean. You know what I mean? Down at Fred's Landing.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's just great. And it's really, really great hot sauce. It really is. It's and Louis had Louis, what did you decide to do with it?
Oh, I use it for barbecue sauce.
Wow, you know what? That has to be
You just gave me $1 million idea.
It's the kingfish when I told him.
yes, exactly. And when he does it, when he marinates with it, people always say as soon as he takes it off the grill.
Yeah.
I never tasted anything like it before.
And if they're like, oh, you know, if they're a little worried, sometimes they're like, you know.
I've been putting on a little weight lately.
Then it just says, hey, come on, man.
How can this harm you? It's homemade, pal.
It's stupid. It really is stupid. And if it gets really stupid, we just go, we'll just.
I'm sorry, sir. I couldn't think of the word.
And just get a laugh again. So, just go and get the best hot sauce on the planet. And when you put the RX in the coupon code and you get your 15% percentage, you're not getting a free bottle of cherry
No, that's
sriracha.
for comedic purposes
For
only.
comedic purposes only. And it helps us because it helps us, support the show.
Yeah.
All right.
A lot of stuff today, Joe.
Lot of stuff. Wow, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. But before we get
You forgot the other sponsor.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. The goods.fun.
I got a big line in this.
I know.
I got a big speech in
And
Where's that?
well, I'm glad you fit Louis' clothes. I'm glad you fit Louis' costume.
So tall.
The goods.fun is a wonderful website run by my wife.
Your wife.
And if any of you don't know, my wife.
Your wife.
Yes, has a couple of things on there. If you go to the goods.fun, look for 328 Chauncey Street Collections, the 328 Chauncey Street Collection, and you can get some drinking glasses.
Drinking glasses.
Yep, and a Honeymooners podcast mug.
The mug's great.
And, yeah, it's really good. And I've been trying to get her to get the T-shirts going, but she's been I don't know. I think she's been living in a lap of luxury.
Lap of luxury,
You know
yeah,
what I
what do
mean?
you
I'm going to have
expect?
to take a couple of things away from her.
There you
That's
go.
all. You know, all this lap living in a lap of
Lap
luxury.
of luxury.
Well, before we even get started, we need to play a quick
Before
clip.
Jane Russell gets started.
Yeah. Before anybody else gets started. Let me see. I thought I had it ready, but I didn't. But I will have it, and it will be. I'm just going to have it right here. And
You're getting closer.
you're getting closer. There we go. If anybody recognizes that oboe.
Easy, watch it. Easy. Lower, easy. Easy. How are you, pal? Is there anything I can get you? A glass of water? Would you say that was yes or no? Ralph, I can't tell you how sorry we are. After all you did for us tonight, look, we'd never have been able to beat Bayonne and win the championship if it hadn't been for you. Get the doctor on the phone.
Yeah, he said if there's no complications, it sounds to him like it's a simple wrench back. Now, if Ralph sleeps on a heating pad all night, it could be gone in the morning. But if it doesn't go away, he wants you to come and see him in the morning.
Oh, my goodness. So, Louis, why are we playing that?
Oh. I hurt my back.
Louis he hurt his back. What were you doing? Were you bowling?
Bowling. With my bad back, I went bowling. It's kind of a cold.
On account of a cold.
On account of a cold.
Was that like some sort of real excuse or something like that?
Back. Your muscles ache when you have a cold.
Oh, okay, I guess.
I just hurt my back this morning.
Hurt your back.
Okay,
sure. Louis hurt his back. Was it yesterday or today?
No, it was this morning.
It was today.
We're coming here. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Why don't you tell them how you hurt your back?
I tried. I was just picking up. I was bowling.
And he decided to pick up a toaster.
I decided to pick up a toaster,
and
my back just
hurt
went out.
Back. Yeah, he's got to get a sleeping pad.
To
put in there
tonight.
Hopefully, you'll be fine in the morning.
Man, I'm pissed. My thing with flying colors. My physical tomorrow.
Yes,
flying
of
colors.
course. What we got to do is we got to get right into
we have a lot of stuff.
The big news, which I think everybody knows.
Yeah.
But last week we went to.
Oh, they know.
Oh yeah, they know.
Corn's telling them how to use a Ouija board.
They know. We were in the middle of Brooklyn, right where all of these locations that they talked about over the years.
Yes.
And we did the interview for the documentary that's going to be out there. Now, we learned a little bit more about what it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's an 8-part series. Right now, the working title is How Television Changed America.
Right.
And there's 8 episodes, each one for a different TV show. Now, we found out the TV shows.
Yeah.
Very interesting, eclectic group.
Yeah, really.
Okay. So, I Love Lucy. Honeymooners. Brady Bunch.
Yes.
Happy Days. Love Boat. Touched by an Angel.
Weird.
Weird one.
Cheers.
Cheers and
Dynasty.
Those are the 8 shows that they're featuring. And I guess they're trying to, it's not just about all sitcoms.
Right.
But let's face it, to me, you can argue Happy Days, but I Love Lucy, Honeymooners, and Cheers are probably in the top 10 sitcoms of all time.
Yes.
Especially
about Lucy and the Honeymooners, they actually changed sitcoms.
Yes. They were groundbreaking in that regard.
Right.
Yes. So those are the shows, and we're going to be featured in the Brady Bunch episode.
I'm going to be on the Dynasty one.
But obviously we're going to be featured, and they interviewed us in a little this cute little looks like a
It's like an
loungy.
It's called the St. James Lounge.
St. James Lounge.
Look who walked into the lounge. Yeah. But it's actually like an event place.
Right.
Yeah.
And right in the middle of Brooklyn. And it was Saturday morning. It
Bushwick.
was raining out. Was it? Is it Bushwick?
Bushwick, yeah.
Okay, so I couldn't remember where it was.
We were in Bushwick.
Is that where he's actually from?
He actually is from where those borders are kind of like not set in stone.
Okay.
It's actually he's from Stuyvesant Heights now, but I believe it was back then. It could have been Bushwick.
Okay.
So I don't know how they divvied up because they're only neighborhoods basically. There's nothing to them.
Yeah, there's no zip code differences. It's all Brooklyn.
It's just it's Brooklyn. It's just neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Just to distinguish one place from another.
Yeah, there are towns like where my cousin lives in Bridgewater, New Jersey. There's a little section called Bradley Gardens. But it's just part of. You don't say Bradley Gardens.
No.
It's just a section, and it's called that. But they did that very big in New York, especially back in the day.
Because Brooklyn is so huge,
right?
There's just got to identify different places. So that's how they did it. So
to me, it's almost
basically
like,
it was Bushwick.
Yeah, which is so awesome that we were actually in the town. We were right in the center of where the Honeymooners actually came from.
Yeah,
because his brain, it came from his house.
His house, yeah.
328 Chauncey Street. And we were around everywhere.
Yeah.
It was
DeKalb Avenue.
DeKalb
Avenue, Charles.
yeah. DeKalb Ave, yeah. And then there
Himrod
was
Street.
Himrod Street.
Then, of course, we're driving around and we see,
Yeah,
like,
we
we
drove right
Avenue,
past Park Avenue in Manhattan because we went through Manhattan. Madison Avenue. Then we saw Angelina's. We took a picture of that. And it was like that. Like, it didn't even hit me until we got there that I'm like, dude, we're doing this in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
It never got into my head that we're doing this in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And we were doing it in Bushwick.
Yep.
Where Gleason grew up. It was so cool. They interviewed us for about 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours?
Yeah.
Went kind of quick, though.
It did. We had a lot of fun doing it. And then we got an email back from the producer, and she said that they said we did great, and they got so much insight from us. So me and Louis keep saying, listen, out of the 2.5 hours, if we get 30 seconds on here,
happy.
I'll be thrilled just to see my dopey name, hopefully spelled correctly. And here's the cool thing. Louis, his name is not Fats. That's short. But it's going to say they'll probably say the Honeymooners podcast co-host Louis Fats and Joe Conte, which is going to be just awesome to see Louis Fats. Like, it's just the coolest name.
Everybody like, what the heck kind of name is that?
Yeah. But it was they were great. It was I'm looking at the equipment, and I got to tell you, this was not some fly by night. This was legit.
Yeah.
The stuff that they were using, that equipment there had to be worth at least $100. Yeah,
at least $100.
At least $100. Could be even more than that.
We have more cameras than Gleason had on the honeymoon.
Yeah, it was so awesome, and we even mentioned you guys. We mentioned our pals, the people that listen are all these full grown nuts. They're pretty much the backbone of this show,
right?
And but it was a lot of fun, and hopefully we get a little bit more because they told us who they're who's going to be on it, including Brian.
Brian's going to
but Brian was sick.
Brian was sick.
He was good. He was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
So hopefully with Brian, and then they have like somebody who is in charge of Gleason's estate.
Yeah, I think it was his Dusty Outnet Hall.
Dusty Outnet Hall.
His step grandson. It's something like that. It was
something like that. It's not Jason Patrick, his actual grandson.
Well, Jason Patrick don't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
it seems like he wants nothing to do with his grandfather.
And then there's like another person. They were telling us who is going to be featured on here, along with Brian, because obviously everybody is gone who was on this show.
Right.
But who knows? Maybe they'll use a little bit more of us.
Yeah, maybe.
And we read this thing that might be part of the
intro,
beginning of the intro of the actual episode, which would be cool because we've been doing bad intros since episode one.
We're pros at it.
Yeah. It was fantastic. It was
we don't have
so
to practice.
cool.
We're pretty good at it.
It was
cool because it was something I had no idea how those things work, and that was the interesting part, Joe, to me.
Yeah,
no idea how they work, and it was just to see it, really cool.
Yeah, and the fact, and this is interesting. We didn't do the full grown nut of the week. We went right into this, but that's fine because this is a little bit different. We'll get it.
Also there, the worst cup of coffee I ever had in my life.
Oh my God.
Listen,
I drink coffee, but I like it with a lot of stevia in it, and sometimes I put a little creamer in there. I'm not a coffee aficionado by any means. If it tastes a little sweet and it's a little creamy, I'm good. Yeah. I took a sip of it, and I think I took a sip. I took 2 sips because the first one, I was like, this can't be
this
coffee.
Yeah.
Maybe my lips are messed up or whatever. It didn't taste like coffee.
What the heck it was?
I don't know, but it didn't. It wasn't coffee. I don't know what it was. And then when we got in the car, Louis was like, "That was the worst cup of coffee I've ever gotten." I'm like, "That," and because we didn't say anything there.
Yeah, we didn't say
I'm
nothing.
like,
Of
I thought it
course
was
not.
me.
Yeah, no.
I thought it was me.
Yeah,
Maybe.
we're not going to say nothing there.
No,
because
of
we're
course
not like
not.
that. You know,
No,
we just wait till we got in the car.
Yeah, they were very nice with that.
They're real
Would
nice
you like
people.
coffee?
Yeah.
They were treating us like
Yeah,
we
when the
were
kid
stars.
went out and got it.
The kid went out and got it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah, that was the worst cup of
Oh
coffee.
my God, was it bad?
Where's the coffee? I don't know, but the kid didn't find it. He didn't find it, for sure. Oh, my goodness. But, yeah, so, listen, I have to say thank you to all you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Because without you guys, this wouldn't be happening. Yeah. None of this would be happening.
No.
You know, we keep talking about it when we go, how did we get here? How did this happen?
Yeah.
Like, after we did the second convention, we were like, how did this come about? How did we get to this point? And now we're going to be on a documentary about our favorite TV show of all time. That's going to be on Paramount Plus and CW11, and that's another thing.
Yeah,
it's going to be on CW11 because they're owned by this, this
right.
And CW11 is PIX, which is where I bet 99% could be the odds even higher than that. Is where we all found the show. We all found the show on PIX, basically.
Yeah.
And this is going to be on CW11. It's going to be on PIX.
Wow.
It's just cool.
Well, full circle.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, now we have to. We're a little out of order.
It's okay.
We're sorry.
One thing out of order here is your head.
We have to go to our next thing that we should have done before.
Yeah, but that's okay.
But here we go.
Verily, the Honeymooners podcast knights the full-grown nut of the week. Aren't you lucky?
You're going to hear a lot of him today.
Yeah,
we have a lot of bits today.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Not wrong with that.
You listen to them all day.
Let that roll around in your mouth for a while.
It gives me real pleasure to present to you this award.
Rob Caruso. That's right. Another full-grown nut that we thought we already had already. We already thought. We were like, no, we're not going to get. I probably looked at the name and said, no, we've already got that. He was probably already saying, oh, no. He's like, me. And we're like, no. He's already been part of it. No, of course. But you know what? Me and Louie are definitely.
You're a menace to society. You're a menace to me.
And of course.
And you were a stupid head.
He qualifies right there. And Rob was in the trivia contest at the convention.
Yes.
He did. What did he do? Oh, My Aching Back was his was his specialty.
And he was the one that looks like he's 23 years old.
Yeah.
And he said he was 50. He said he was my age. I wanted to punch him in the face. I was like, what do you mean you're my age? I looked at him like, oh, wow, we have young people on it. He's like, no, dude, I'm 56. I'm like, get out. I wanted to just throw him right out of Uncle Vinny. He's like, get out. There's no way you look like that. And you know what? He did ask the question.
What made the judges pick me above all the rest?
And because we thought you were, 23 years old.
Some young blood in here.
Yeah. But congratulations.
Congratulations, Rob Caruso.
Part of the full-grown nut community, the full-grown nut fraternity, the full-grown nut, I don't know, whatever.
Society of
full-grown nuts. Welcome. And it was fun to actually say full-grown nut on the doc. And I don't know if that part will be in, but it was very cool to just utter to them, we have a bunch of full-grown nuts that are our listeners. And it was just so cool.
They'll probably
welcome.
Edit that one out. It's like, what the heck is a
full-grown nut? So, but of course, congratulations,
yes,
Rob. Welcome to the group. And let's get into it. We got a lot of stuff to do today. Okay. Well, you know what? Let me get right into. We're going to hear a lot of this guy today. And where is it? And here it is.
The Honeymooners podcast now presents Here's an item. This is where we have one of our lusciously lovely listeners present some material for this prestigious, proficient program. Oh dear, I've dribbled all over myself. And now, without any more ado,
Here's an item.
All right. With the great Dave Ingram. And here's an item. Now, Rick Murphy, a guy who emailed me last week to tell me that he saw a Honeymooners connection in a movie.
Yes.
And I couldn't think of it.
Now, Rick is one of our old time.
Yeah,
He's been
like,
there since
been there since day one, but he's not he's not active.
Yeah, not active as far as
social media,
things
Facebook,
like that, yeah.
stuff like that. So I don't know if this is the first email I got from him, but he definitely clarified that this was his. We don't really hear from him. So he sent me an email like last week saying, "Hey, I found this correlation. I couldn't think of what it was." And then he sent it to me, and then I remember. But I'm going to read you the email, and it's very good. Hi, Joe and Louie. I hope I'm getting this to you in time. So I am watching Field of Dreams. It's been a long time since I've seen it. At 45:48, when Kevin Costner and James Earl Jones travel to Chisholm, Minnesota, to find Archie Moonlight Graham, played by Burt Lancaster, they visit the town newspaper office and meet the editor of the newspaper. Right. I heard the voice first and knew instantly that I heard it before. This husky yet feminine-sounding voice came out of my TV. I sat motionless as the computer in my brain, as rusty as it is, started sorting the data, and after a surprising few seconds, wham! I heard in the echo chambers of my brain saying in the same feminine husky voice, "Oh, it's nothing. I just wanted something to remember you by. And don't make such a fuss about it." Followed by the famous flub, "In fact, I'm kind of embarrassed after what I gave you." Right. Yes, none other than Mrs. Stevens and Seymour. By the way, me and Louie both called her Jane Seymour twice.
Two's theory. We called her twice.
Yeah, we called it to her twice. Anne Seymour had a small role in A Field of Dreams. See screen grab. Now, some may say no big deal, but this past Sunday, and by the way, I do remember this. I do remember this. But it's still a great catch. And then he goes, now, some might say no big deal, but this past Sunday, I was indulging in a weekly guilty pleasure of mine where I watched one episode of T.J. Hooker, the police drama starring William Shatner from the 80s. What a great, interesting thing that's his indulging, whatever you want to call it, guilty pleasure, but he does it once a week. Hilarious. With Adrian Zemed and Heather Locklear.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I was up to season 4, episode 8, so he's binging it. He's binging T.J. Hooker. I love Rick. I was up to season 4, episode 8, entitled "A Kind of Rage." The plot was that same. It's a plot. The plot was that some psycho was killing L.A. bag ladies one by one. Again, I took my eyes off the screen for 1 second, and wham! Again. Husky feminine voice. I glance back, and there is old busybody Mrs. Stevens again. Only now she's Millie, the bag lady. Millie. Bill, you better say something, Bill. Despite Anne Seymour's flub in "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" from the classic 39, the serial killer never got to strangle her. One more funny note, Millie, the bag lady, was checking on her other bag lady friend, and what was her name? Audrey. Another screenshot. Needless to say, my head was spinning. I was still so giddy and gay over the whole thing. Such good sport, hunting down cast members in the wild. I hope this is interesting enough for the podcast. If not, please know that I have been listening since episode 1. You guys are true friends, blue friends. Official space helmet off Captain Video. Rick Murphy.
Beautiful.
Great email.
Beautiful.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
Well written.
Yeah. Oh.
Better than the ending of Hello, Mom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on a limb here. It was better than the letter.
Ralph's letter.
Than Ralph's letter. I remember Ann Seymour on there.
Yeah.
But it didn't register. But what a great thing that within a couple of days he sees her again in DJ Hooker. That's great.
Now, we were talking about before, Joe. Remember we were looking to see what her name was.
Yeah.
So I go on IMDb.
Yep.
And they had all the list of everything she's done.
Right.
And it said 2 episodes of The Honeymooners.
Right.
Now, we only remember her as 1.
Which, of course,
was,
for Christmas.
Night Before Christmas. Now, her name, Mrs. Stevens, is mentioned in Mambo.
Of course.
Okay?
Yep.
But she's not one of the Mambo line dancers.
No.
That's Mrs. Simpson.
That's Mrs. Simpson, right.
So, I don't know, maybe that's what a 2 episode, not that IMDb's, 100%.
Right.
They're like us.
Nobody's 100%.
No.
You are.
You are. You're wrong every time.
What a great joke.
So anyway, we were thinking, if anybody has any thoughts on that, just let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Did we miss something?
Did we miss her somewhere?
I don't have her listed
twice.
Twice.
It says 2 episodes, and
Right.
I just think maybe just the name of Mrs. Stevens being her appearing as Mrs. Stevens and the name being mentioned. I don't know how they do it, but anyway, we just got 1. So anyway.
Awesome. All right. Very good, Rick.
Good
excellent.
one, Rick. Good one. Good one.
Excellent. And we have another Here's an Item. And I would do the Here's an Item again, but I'm just not going to. I'm not good at it. Let me see. I got to. Here we go. This is from Chris Fododiodo Foder. I love that. I just made that up. So, Chris, if that hurts your feelings, I don't care. Because it's a Honeymooners thing. I don't see Chris getting upset. No. Hey, guys. I believe I have finally reached the second plateau of full-grown nutness. So here's an item. I was watching Head of the House today and noticed something. At 23 minutes and 10 seconds, when Ralph tells Norton that every husband should cook, he has what looks like a cut on his right index finger. This is just after he was sewing the chicken clothes before cooking. I figured Gleason cut himself with the needle while he was talking to Norton earlier in the episode during the drinking scene when Ralph is covering his face with his right hand. There's clearly no cut on his finger. Tell me, guys, am I ready for Bellevue? And then, big space, upon further viewings, he doesn't seem to have it when he takes the chicken to the oven, but after he closes the oven door, he does. So, did he cut himself on the oven? Is it just soot or dirt from the inside of the oven? We don't see that part of his hand very clearly the rest of the episode to see if the mark is still there, though he does put his hands in his pockets, perhaps to hide the area. Maybe it's just one of those things we'll never know. Thanks for letting me ramble.
Oh, wow. Let's investigate this.
Yeah, I think we should hand it off to you guys.
Yeah, investigate this.
Hand this off. And if you don't find anything, we can just make fun of Chris for being an absolute maniac.
Yeah, well.
A menace to society, a menace to us, and a stupid head. But I love the passion, and I love this just loving that they're doing this.
This is what the podcast is all about.
What the podcast is all about.
It's got you guys looking at things you never would have looked at before.
And it's great because
so we're taking credit for that,
and it's less work for us.
Yeah,
it's good.
Do all our stuff, Chris.
Yes, it's less work for us. So now we're going to get into another bit, and this one has a familiar voice. And let me see. Where is it? How come I don't see it? It should be Flub Revisited, the many. Here it is.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Recognize this voice?
The Honeymooners podcast now presents, to Joe Conte's dismay and abject horror, the Ron Albanese Twos Theory.
No one would have a need for 2 of those.
I love that no one will have a need for 2 of those. It just makes my day.
Yes, great.
All right. So we have a twos theory.
The phrase fits.
And I think this twos theory is not a theory. I think it's just a fact.
Yeah.
This might be considered a new bit called the twos fact.
Twos fact.
I'm kidding. Sorry, Ron. No, we're not doing a twos fact. And here it is. Richard the Lionhearted.
Yeah.
Mentioned twice in the 39.
Yeah.
Right? Once, Norton says it. Richard the Lionhearted said it to Friar Tuck. And then, of course, in Unconventional Behavior, no, not Unconventional Behavior, TV, not TV or not TV, whatever, the episode, I can't think of it, when she says, "Oh, come on," and he says, "Richard the Lionhearted," and she goes, "Come on, Richard, Richard
the Chicken-Hearted."
The Chicken-Hearted, yes. So 2 times, two's theory, two's fact.
Two's fact.
There is no other Richard the Lionhearted.
That's it.
Yeah, and I can't believe I'm doing two's theories. I really am.
I threw it to you. So
you threw it to me. Now, we have another two's theory, but it's also a continuity thing. Now, we've always said...
Oh, yeah.
We've always said there's only one time that... And I even saw this on, like, one of the other... hold on. One of the other... what are they called? The... Oh, I can't believe... I cannot... everything is so in the way here.
Everything's going real fast.
Oh, yeah. It's one of the other honeymooner group things.
Yeah.
It's one of our sister sites.
One of our sister sites.
Okay, thanks a lot, sister.
Well, I really, there was a long road for that. Yeah. Could have taken that road from Tibet, maybe save 5 hours on a trip.
Highways to Tibet.
Highway to Tibet. So the thing is, we always said there's only one time that they reference something that happened on another episode.
Yes.
And that, of course, is in The Sleepwalker.
Sleepwalker.
Where he mentions the fact, or in Oh My Aching Back, he mentions that callback that Norton was sleepwalking.
And we all know that. Episode, yeah.
We all know that. It's a great trivia question for any DEFCON 1s or 2s. But for us 3s, it's a well-known fact now. I think I found another continuity thing where they mention something from another episode. In Brother Ralph, which is first.
Mm-hmm. It's important.
He gets laid off.
Yep.
And then an opportunity knocks when they meet Mr. I'm blanking out today. The boss, Mr. Marshall.
Mr. Marshall.
In front when they're going to go play pool. And he goes, "Oh, Mr. Marshall, yes, Mr. Ralph's mentioned you many times, yes. And when you got laid off, he talked about you constantly." That, to me, is a direct correlation to Brother Ralph, him getting laid off. So I think there is a two's theory.
Yep.
And because they mentioned twice that he gets laid off, and a continuity thing. The fact that they mentioned something that happened in another episode where we all were under the impression it was only one time, the sleepwalking. Yeah. So now there's 2.
And we got a 2.
We got a
two's continuity theory.
On a two's theory. A two's continuity theory. On
twos of a two. Well, we're getting crazy now.
Yeah,
it's twos.
Yeah,
Thank you, Ron.
It's a twos within a twos theory. Yes. So I believe that is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to dispute it, just dial Bensonhurst 3 774
0.
Kerry Gibson. Okay. We're going to get into something that we have not... I don't even remember what this intro sounds like. That's how long.
That's long ago this is.
All right. Here we go.
The Honeymooners podcast presents Whatever Happened To. The boys go deep into their shallow minds and try to imagine what would have happened to certain situations in the show if the episode had a to be continued or a part 2. Yeah, I know. Joe and Louie need real jobs. And now here's Whatever Happened To.
Yes.
And that is the great Joe Fernandez.
Joe Fernandez. I haven't heard Joe in a long time.
Joe Fernandez.
That was one of our very first bits that we did.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, and if you're a full-grown nut, and if you were at any of the conventions, you know Joe Fernandez has been there. And Joe Fernandez is a good friend of mine. He's a comic, hilarious. Follow him on social media. It's Fernandez with an S at the end. Joe Fernandez, comedian. All right.
Now,
I love this.
We, I believe, covered this way back, a couple years ago. You know, it's when Ralph selling his story to the magazine,
right?
You know, and gets the $5,000 and blah blah blah. And I think we ended it at whatever happened to the first time. Like, what did he do with the $5,000? Well,
correct.
You see the part there. He hands Mr. Gersh back the check in the office, and then Gersh. Now this is the new little fangled thing on this one here.
Right.
Gersh says to him
when he's back home, telling Alice what happened.
No, in the office. When he hands the money back to Gersh, he tells him the story, what happened, and Gersh says to him,
No. Remember, he goes, you better sit down. He sits down, he starts to tell the story, and they fade out. Then they go into the kitchen, and he's eating the blueberry pie. And he tells her.
No.
She goes, then what happened?
No. In the office, he says to him, this is bigger than the story of you dying. The arterial monochromia story. You don't remember that? Play it.
Matter of life and death, right?
Play it, yeah.
Hold on.
Because he says to him, Crampton, I'm happy you're not in the magazine, but this is bigger than you dying.
Hold on.
Dying 6 months and I got nothing to leave her.
All right. So this is when he goes back, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
You see, you belong in prison. I'm going to see that you'll spend there for the rest of your life, if possible.
Okay.
Shut up. Wait a minute. Mr. Gersh, if there's anyone pulling a hoax, it's me.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Well, it's a long story. You better sit down. You better sit down, too, Norton.
I can't. It's not stout.
Will you?
What a great, quick, just to break up the monotony.
Well, it's like this. You see, my wife had a dog. That is, her mother had a dog. And they took this dog to the hospital. At the same time they took me.
So
yeah.
So now blueberry pie.
All right, yeah, blueberry pie scene.
Ralph, will you stop eating the blueberry pie and finish telling me what happened?
I finished telling you what happened. I told him it was all a mistake. That was your mother's dog the doctors report about. I didn't have arterial monochromia.
I know, but after that, what did he say then?
He didn't say nothing. He just sat there and stared at me.
Well, then what did he say, Ralph?
Well, he said that he wouldn't press charges if I'd let him use the story as it turned out. He said that the public would like this story even better than the one about me dying. I want to tell you something, Alex.
All right, so you're right there. Now, okay. He says to him,
the bigger story.
And he won't press charges.
Right.
Okay, so now what does that mean? Is Ralph like agreeing with him? Like, okay, you could use my story, but I'm not getting $5,000.
Yeah, that was a conniving thing. Like, I'm not going to press charges, but this is going to be a better story than the original
I'm going to
one.
sell millions of magazines. Dusty and Admiral.
Dusty and Admiral.
So what's the deal?
Yeah.
So what happens?
What happened? Why would if he was willing to give him $5,000
right,
for the story about him dying,
right?
And now this story will be bigger and better than the original
dying story.
Why wouldn't you give him the $5,000?
$5,000 and not press charges.
Yeah. So and that would be like, hey, then what would you do with the $5,000? You know? But yeah, like. Why wouldn't he give him the $5,000?
Because he said it would be bigger than the other story.
Bigger than the
other story. So if it's bigger than the other story, don't you think Mr. Gersh that it's worth another $5,000 to this guy?
Yeah, really. He didn't have to get the heat coughs to get that kind of money.
Right?
Remember Norton said
his friend got the heat coughs and gave him $5,000 for heat coughs.
Yeah, exactly. what did he say? He gave him, I forgot what it was, but yeah, it's like if this was bigger, why wouldn't you? All right, you know what? I'll keep the $5,000. This is a great story,
and we won't press charges.
All right. I'm overthinking.
No, we're never overthinking this.
Yeah. I'm overthinking
That's
this.
the whole podcast.
But what if the reason why is because the other one would be story, and then it would be leading up to They would be all crammed. They're crammed in conscience
right now. Yeah,
right? And the story waiting for him to die, drop dead. But this one, it's like. It's a hilarious story, and it's over.
It's true.
But you should get like $2,000. Something. It's a great story.
You're just saying it's going to be bigger than the other one.
Bigger than the other one, exactly. Because he's saying.
And first, now you also have the country that's crammed in conscience right now.
Exactly. So they would want to hear what happened, and they're going to be like, "What an idiot! That's hilarious." Yeah, exactly. He should. I say $2,000.
$2,000.
He should have gotten $2,000.
Easy.
Oh yeah, baby. I bet you he should have got at least almost what he got for the $5,000, and maybe $49.99.
I know 2 other people who aren't getting compensated for work coming in. We'll let that go, but
we'll let that go. Next time, we're charging. All right, 65 cents an hour. But yeah, that would have been great. And if he would have got the $5,000. I mean, think of what he would have done with it. He probably would have blown it. It was crazy. I always said that. I said, for a guy who was
$50,000 in today's money,
$50,000.
$50,000.
That's a nice piece of change.
Yeah.
I always said he was the only. Ralph Cramden? Here's a question for you: cheapskate or not?
Yes.
Cheapskate
he's selfish. Not a cheapskate when it's for him,
right?
But cheapskate with everything else. He's even a cheapskate with Alice.
Yes. So it's interesting because to me, he's the only cheapskate that gets a little bit of money and then spends it like a drunken sailor.
Exactly.
He's the only character I can think of that would do that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just I always wondered, like, is he a cheapskate? Because if he was a cheapskate, he would be like scrimping and saving even for him.
Yeah.
But that part of Ralph Cramden is Jackie Gleason. That's Gleason.
Yep. Because to me, he's more selfish. Like,
yes,
let's cut out a few things. Like, all right, how about you cutting out bowling? No, let's not get panicky now. See, right away, they had to cut things, but that had to do with him.
Yes, of course. Let's not get panicky
now.
Yeah. We're gonna make things more difficult for you around the house, but I'm not gonna go bowling. It's my only relaxation. Absolutely great.
Dick Gersh, please.
Yeah, give him should have gave him $2,000.
Throw him something.
Yeah, throw him something. He drove all the way to Brooklyn on a Saturday morning in the rain, and then got caught up with got caught in a parade.
Yeah.
There was some sort of Indian parade that we got caught in, where we were stuck for like 15 minutes going nowhere. They could have thrown him a couple bucks. Could have thrown us a couple bucks. But anyway.
And we got a cup of coffee out of it.
A great whatever happened to. And you know what? Missed this bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You got to maybe bring it back.
These are one of those where it's kind of limited.
Yeah, they're very limited. It's
very limited.
You have your, basically it is. Clubs are limited. This is limited. So sometimes you have to, revisit them.
Absolutely.
Try to put a new twist on like today.
And
a new twist on. I don't know if it worked or not, but it was a new twist.
And speaking of limited, we have another bit.
Oh.
Hello, Dave.
Hell yeah, Beverly, hell yeah.
The
The Honeymooners podcast now presents Ad Lib or Not. And Ad Lib, that is the question.
That was 3 Dave Ingrams?
3 Dave Ingrams.
And 1 Joe Fernandez.
And 1 Joe Fernandez, yeah.
4 Swanee Rivers.
Yeah. 4 Swanee Rivers already. Absolutely. And we talked about the documentary, and we did a couple of whatever. Anyway, so now we're gonna get into an ad lib, and this never thought of, and it's one of those that we hear all the time on the show.
All the time.
Every episode, we play this, and let me find it. Of course. Why wouldn't I be able to find it, Brother Ralph? Here we go. Better Living to Television. Okay. I am going to do this.
Take it from the top.
Take it from the top before YouTube shuts us down. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Okay. It's all loaded up. Push the button.
Hell, who are you? Oh, I am the chef of the future. I heard your wish, and I have come here to answer it. You mean to say that you have invented a household utensil to do the work of all of these? Ha, ha. I will show you, non-believer. Not only will this helpful housewife Happy Handy do all the work of these old instruments, but it will also do them 100% better. I will demonstrate.
I want to hear that again.
You hear that? I
Come here to answer it. You mean to say that you have invented a household utensil to do the work of all of these? Ha, ha. I will show you, non-believer. Not only will this helpful housewife Happy Handy do all the work of these old instruments, but it will also do them 100% better.
It's fantastic.
I will demonstrate to you, and to you, dear friends in television land, exactly how it works. Now, we will demonstrate by first you, the chef of the past, doing a chore with an old implement. And then I will do the same
Here it
chore
comes.
with this new implement. And we will see then, there.
Right here.
Very good, old chef of the future. First, we will sharpen a knife using the old-fashioned sharpening stone here. Ha, ha! Aren't they ancient?
It's now.
If you're watching,
Joe, they have to watch.
you have to watch.
You have to
this.
watch this after
Yeah.
you listen to this nonsense.
Right.
You have to watch it because it's very visual.
Yes, because Ed Norton is doing the knife thing, and he's in the middle of saying something, and Ralph interrupts him.
Yes.
And then he continues to what he was going to say. But when you watch Ralph, as soon as he starts doing it, his mouth is open like he's waiting to say something.
Yep.
And
He wants to jump in before Ed starts his line.
yes, I think he wanted to do
Yes.
it before he started his line, and he should have waited until I think he probably would have waited until he was done actually doing it, right?
I don't know. I like the way it turned out.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I'm saying
yeah.
that's what I think was supposed to happen. So I think he well,
No, I'm
here's
saying
the-
it's an ad lib. I think he just did that.
do you think he
I
just did
think
that?
he just threw that in there.
That's a
because you
good-
can watch. You have to watch. Again, always watch it away.
Right.
Watch Norton. Watch it a couple of times. Watch Ralph. Like Joe said, you get the open mouth. It's
Yes,
like he's ready
like
to pounce.
he's waiting.
He's ready to pounce.
And let's face it, if it's an ad lib, that's Gleason saying, I got a good one.
I got a good one here, and I'm going to
Yes,
throw it in
I'm
right
throwing
now.
it in right now. And
And-
about 2 seconds before he says it, he's got his mouth open. Like you're waiting for somebody to finish speaking. And You're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, he's the one
And
of
then
those-
he says it, but he still interrupted him.
Yeah. So and then watch him. Watch it again, and then watch Norton. So
Yeah.
you got to watch both of them.
You got to watch it.
separately.
Yeah, watch one, then watch the other. Yep, but we'll play it again.
Very good, old chef of the future. First, we will sharpen a knife
Now listen
using
to
the
him.
old-fashioned sharpening stone here. Ha, ha! Aren't they ancient? Let's see what kind.
And then Ed Norton's face,
It's like,
he was
whoa,
just like,
wait,
what?
Yeah,
What's that? Okay, and then he
And then
continued
we
on.
know that Art Carney's not jumping that line because that's just a great line. It's
Yes.
just like he just threw it at him, and
Yes.
Art Carney like pauses,
Right.
Like, all right, wait, like wait a minute here, hold on a second.
Right. It was, you can tell that not Ed Norton, but Art Carney was shocked.
Yeah,
Not shocked,
taken aback a little
taken
bit.
aback. He was surprised.
Surprised,
by it.
yeah.
Whoa,
Oh, what a surprise!
But you know what? I got to go with you. Ad-lib.
I'm saying ad lib.
I think ad-lib.
Anybody else? Just give your
Yeah.
opinion. Just
Yep.
crank it up like you guys always do.
Absolutely.
Watch. This is one you definitely have to watch. You
Yes.
have to watch it.
Yes.
Because that'll convince you or not convince you that it's an ad lib or not. Ad-lib.
Okay, so when this comes out with the episode, when I put it up, and with the picture and the episode name and everything on that one, that's where I want you to do the ad lib or not ad lib. That's where I want them to comment.
Yeah.
It'll be on the Facebook group. When I
Mm-hmm.
put that out there, when the episode comes out, that's where I want you guys to put it because I'm curious on your guys' answers. All right?
Perfect.
That's great.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
I'm with you.
Great. Oh.
100%.
Yeah.
At first, I'm like, no.
When you watch it,
Like, I'm thinking he jumped it like too early. No, you're right.
Because when you saw the mouth open, like, I got to get this in there. I got to get it in there before Art starts his line.
Yes.
And he did it. And Art actually starts his line.
Yes.
He does start the line.
Starts it. And he
stops, lets Gleason do his thing. And what he physically does, where he looks out at the camera, it's
like he looks. The fourth wall thing.
Yeah.
Kind of looked into the camera.
like,
you know what I mean? It was just like what the skipper used to do during Gilligan's Island.
Right.
When something so ridiculous, he looked right in the camera. Like, are we doing? It's
Oliver Hardy.
Oliver Hardy.
It's the Oliver Hardy talking to the camera.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll just do it one more time. We'll just play it all the way through.
Now, we will demonstrate by first you, the chef of the past, doing a chore with an old implement. And then I will do the same chore with this new implement. And we will see then there.
It's got to be ad-lib too right there.
Very good, old chef of the future. First, we will sharpen a knife using the old-fashioned sharpening stone here.
Aren't they ancient?
Well, let's see what kind of a job it
He
does.
looks at the sharpening stone like,
yeah, like,
okay. Just the Art Carney, man.
Oh, gosh.
He was the best. He was the absolute best. Oh, my goodness. I can't get enough of Art Carney. I just can't.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. I think that is pretty much what we got. Is there anything you want to do before we go?
No, I got a couple things. We'll keep them for the next time.
Okay.
Keep them for next time.
All right, cool. So what we're going to do is do Louis' 175, his 175th favorite bit on the show. And, of course, that is this.
And now, Tom, who is our first guest, please?
Herb.
Our first guest, ready to leap the first hurdle on his way to the $99,000 answer, is our
comedian from Mongolia, Joe Connie.
Thank you.
I want to see the expression on your face when you miss it.
Rough heckler.
Yeah.
Rough room.
So, Joe, this question's prepared by
Professor Walter Newman, of
who
course.
was on vacation at Fred's Landing, he told me.
Oh,
Yeah,
very nice.
He threw me a question. I said, come on, Professor, you can do better than this.
Yeah.
No, this is all I'm doing. I'm on vacation, and this is what you're getting.
Just getting a
It's just
lousy question.
Lousy question.
Okay.
Easy, very easy.
All right.
So
I'm good for the easy.
Easy one, but I made it a two-parter. So
Oh, okay.
maybe the second part, you'll have a little problem with.
Why you?
Who wrote the Swanee River? Being that we heard it 14 times today.
You know what's funny? The only reason I remember it is because when I took piano lessons when I was 10 years old, that was one of the songs I played.
Was it?
And I remember seeing Stephen Foster.
Okay, there you go. Stephen Foster.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow. I just realized that. That was one of the songs that I was learning.
You didn't
Swanee
even know you
River.
were in Swanee River.
And I'm just realizing it now.
Wow, you just
140 episodes
late.
in, and I realized that Swanee River I played when I took piano lessons for 6 months until my teacher quit on me. But anyway,
wow, there you go.
Wow. I
Second
learned
part of the
something.
question.
Oh,
what else did he write? That famous song that he wrote. Everybody knows it.
Everybody knows it?
Everybody knows. You said everybody. You said everybody. My grandmother doesn't know it. I'll give you a hint. First Saturday in May.
Oh, I was strolling through the park one day.
No. First Saturday in May. Famous sporting event every year, first Saturday in May. Horse race.
First Saturday in May.
Horse race.
Horse race. I mean, this is
Famous horse race.
This is you. This is
famous horse. Everybody knows this.
This is Camptown races.
No.
All right. I don't know what.
What's the horse race? Give me the horse race first.
The Kentucky Derby.
Yes, Kentucky Derby. What did they play before the Kentucky Derby?
The national anthem.
No,
I have no idea.
That too. My Old Kentucky Home. Oh. Stephen Foster.
Really?
Yes.
But I'm thinking Do I know what that song sounds like? Yeah. I have to, right?
Oh, God, know it.
Right?
Night on my old Kentucky home.
Okay. Oh, my goodness. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Weep no more, my ladies. Weep no more.
Wow. Did not know that.
You know that? Stephen Foster.
Wow.
And you thought he just did
I thought he was a one-hit wonder. He was a regular Paul McCartney from the late 1800s.
You thought he just quit after that first one.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, otherwise known as Joe Swanee Rivers, otherwise known as
Old Folks Home.
There you go.
I knew that.
Wow, you're on fire today.
Today's my.
Don't cheat. Don't look at the answers. Don't look at the answers.
No need to, my friend. No need to, my friend. All right. What are we going to do here? Who should we
wrap this up?
Wow.
That's what we're going to do.
Who are we going to thank?
Oh, we have to. We are our sponsor.
Yes, of course. Our sponsor for the trivia is Lily Printing. That's our pal Rob Lilly, who just did some work for a comedian friend of mine.
Oh, did he?
Yep, absolutely. Lily Printing. Go to lilyprinting.com. And Rob Lilly, of course, Brother Norton, owner-operator. He's actually making some honeymooner. He's starting to get some honeynooner T-shirts going. So I'm going to have to tell my wife.
Your wife.
Yeah, you better get going. Maybe you and Rob could work together on this. No, we're not going to have any battles or anything. I'll just take Rob's side anyway. So who cares? He signs, banners, copy services, offset printing, full color printing, advertising products, and much, much more. Anybody that's been to the conventions know what kind of work
great work he did with the calendar.
Yeah, the calendar.
And also the coasters. The Brian Carney coaster
was phenomenal.
Fantastic. And Brian signed a ton of them for people, and it was great.
It was great. So don't go to Lily Printing for any of your printing stuff. If you're an artist, you want some sort of T-shirts made, business cards, anything. Go to Lily Printing.
I think he said he's going to start doing a button machine. He's going to get the button machine.
Oh, really?
I think that's what he told me at the thing.
Oh, cool.
So we'll see if that happens. It'll be great for next year at the convention.
That would be
we'll
great.
Have buttons for everybody.
Absolutely. All right, so who do we thank? We got to thank Silk City Hot Sauce, of course. All of you who listen, email us, comment on Facebook, and all you full-grown up fraternity members and future fraternity members. Share some of our episodes, whether it's the YouTube episodes of the full episodes now, because they're on YouTube. Now you could just, click on that and send them to your friends. Say, hey, listen, you're a Honeymooners fan. Check out this episode. It was a lot of fun. Or on your social media, and share directly with your pals in the sewer or at the bus depot. And if you want to follow me on all my social media platforms, I'm putting out stuff every day. I've been totally influenced by Vic and Vic's manager to really start putting out content. It's Joe Conti with an E comic. I'm on where all the cool cats are.
Yeah, well, yeah.
all the cool cats.
He's hip. He digs.
This ain't no bakery. Bakery. It's just great. All right. So that's it, everybody. Episode 140 in the books. For me, Joe Conti, and my pal Louis Fats, we say we'll see you next time.
E pluribus raccoonum. Night all.
Good night. Good
Thank
night.
you. Good night.
We'll have to do this again real soon.
How about tomorrow night?
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.